Hello everybody, I'm your host, the RPG Goddess Gamer. Today I'm doing another video. I already covered a short about two new videos that Toby Fox released. There's this one from 2 days ago which has these enemies, which I now know are not called Gui, they're called Gay. And they speak in Chinese. I'll get into more about that later. And we also have the infamous Piles of Asreil's Dust, if you will, video. And also covered the new Spamton's sweepstakes and newsletter, so feel free to check those out if you haven't yet. But we literally just got 5 hours ago another video which is about 40 seconds long, and it's top 5 Shadow Man quotes, so we're going to go through and look at that together. That's what coming out June. We already knew we were going to get the Shadow Guy. We've seen them in that scene where they're playing at our hometown with the little band there. We also got some footage with our characters in their gangster outfits and him playing his musical note attack. But we now get to hear some sound effects. I'm not the best person to go by music, but it sounds like we're getting some new music. Obviously, we're getting some sound effects that we can expect to hear from the Shadow Man in our upcoming battles in chapters 3 and 4 with him, but we're also getting some music that I don't believe I've heard before, so I think it's new. You'll have to correct me on that. I'd love to know for sure, but definitely sounds like music I haven't heard before. Sounds absolutely amazing nonetheless. I love the music in Deltarune. Personally not enough to buy the soundtrack, but it's still amazing. And then we have this one which I covered in a short. It says that's not translation error, that's just how this terrible beast makes conversation. Meet this enemy and many others when Deltarune chapters 1 and 4 releases on June 4th, so it's going to be a Switch 2 launch title, obviously. And we have this video, but I'd like to go over some details that I missed previously. So there's no sound, and its name is actually Gay. That's how it's pronounced. And if we, let me just go back. If we pause it here, people have translated this. It's Chinese, and what these characters mean are, the first one, the one at the top is saying ooh, like ghost noises, and the bottom one is literally saying I'm a ghost. And people have looked up the description for old habits, a Gay online, and it is a evil spirit in, I believe, Chinese folklore, or a ghost that causes mischief and harm. And if you look carefully, you can see that the design of the characters follows the flow of the characters. So the bottom character, where we have the two Chinese characters and saying I'm a ghost, the character on the right, we have the little tail flicking out to the left, which are his claws. We also have the left part, which has his body, which veers off towards the right. And then we have the little flames, and then we have the top part. So it's actually a very interesting design because it actually carefully matches the Chinese letter for it, which is really cool, I think. Really nice attention to detail. I might be reading too closely into it, but I thought that was cool to note. But they're definitely saying I'm a ghost. And so that must be Chinese, I guess, if they're speaking in Chinese, but that's not a translation error. He literally says in the comment for this video, that's not a translation error, that's just how this terrible beast makes conversation. Also, some other things I want to point out. We can see the bullet pattern attack. We have these sort of like long diamond things. I'm guessing they're the claws. And then we have some like fire things, which are probably magic from those spirits that are floating around the gaze. Continuing on. Okay, I need to go back a second. So the Goy is tired and we're casting Pacify. Not sure if I've missed it, but if you notice, at the end it doesn't say how much money you win. So if you don't get any money, or Toby's just not showing us how much money they get. But if I go back to the start, it turns its head like a bird. So we know there's going to be elemental types. And we know that cat is a type, so this might be a bird type enemy, I'm wondering. It certainly looks bird-like with those appendages, those claw-like finger appendages that it has at the front. Also, we have these. I said exercise in my video. It's actually exorcism, as in like exercising a ghost, an exorcism. And then we have exorcism, which is like exercising. And then turns its head like a bird. And we have S action. And notice we have S action, Rebuster, and heal. Notice something strange. Susie's attack is normally ultimate heal, so I'm wondering if she's getting better at her healing. Although it's strange because you think ultimate heal would be better than just a normal heal. But either way, that's very interesting. So perhaps her spell will be getting a bit better and we'll have access to a second healer. Also, the stats for this, I'm not 100% sure. I think they're chapter 4. This is definitely giving off church vibes. Because a ghost is something you would expect to see in a chapter 4 Dark World, which pretty much can be confirmed to be the church, considering all the church window imagery and church imagery we've been getting recently. But going by the stats and that ghost imagery, it could be that. It could also be because the church is located near the graveyard. We might get something to do with, we know that the Amalgamates and also Gerson and Boone are buried there. So we do know that ghosts exist in Undertale. We don't know about spirits per se. Perhaps the cemetery will also play a role. Or it might just be the church, I don't know. But they are very close together, so it's a strong possibility. But that ties in very well with the church and also the cemetery themes. And it says, everyone encouraged Kagui to exercise. Susie told a story about the living dead. And that being a quote, obviously, about them being a ghost and, you know, the movie Living Dead. So they're definitely ghost-type enemies, which is pretty cool. Personally, I thought their head kind of looked like a Christmas ball that you put on your Christmas tree when I first saw. I didn't know what to make of them, but now we know for sure what they are. So that's pretty cool. That's about all I want to go over for that enemy. And then we have this one. I covered most of it, but obviously it looks like we have this boardwalk. I'm guessing this is the hardwood floors in the Dreamer household, because we made our dark world in the lounge room and they were sitting on the couch and we made it. So I'm guessing that these are piles of dust, like dust bunnies, so to speak. We have seen them before in the intro to chapter 1, so this is probably an intro sequence if I had to guess. And Chris is on their own, which means they probably haven't met up with the others yet, which means it's the beginning of the dark world. Also, we have this spotlight. It could be that it's just to illuminate the darkness so we can only see the area when the rest is in darkness, or it could be that someone is actually shining a spotlight on us, be it Mike or Tanner, the secret boss of this chapter. But what is also very interesting we received 10 points and we're starting at 0 points. So whatever game this is or whatever these points we're building, we're starting off with 0 and we've now got 10 of them. So if this was just a weird intro sequence. Why are we getting points? It makes me wonder if it's a game show event, which I theorised in my short, but basically this could be a game show. And this is a spotlight being shone on us, especially with the point system in play. We also saw the point system in the minigame for the Switch 2 Joy-Con controllers that act as like mouses. So there was a score there, and there was also the score in the rhythm music minigame. And we did see this in the Metaton fight. It wasn't exactly points, but it was a score from the audience for how engaged the audience were. So it's a similar sort of thing, and we know that this is going to be a TV world. So a game show similar to what was happening with Metaton would be very much up Toby's alleyway, and yeah, something that I would definitely expect to see in this chapter, so very cool to note. But that's about all for this video. Just quickly though, we do have these sketches, and I think this is really interesting because we can see here we have Noelle and also Susie, and obviously they're very rough, but these are sketches from 2015, which is 10 years ago. So the idea for Deltarune was obviously in Toby Fox's head for a very, very long time. And it's cool to see the transformation of how they've come about, and the fact that this literally came to him in a fever dream when he was sick. But yeah, the idea's been floating around in his head for a while, and maybe he wanted to make this game first, but knew it would be too complex, so started with Undertale, I don't know. But yeah, the idea's been floating around there for a very long time. Even if some of the ideas didn't make it into Undertale, they've made it into an even bigger and better game. Well, not necessarily better, but an even bigger and new game of its own in the form of Deltarune. And Deltarune tomorrow is finally happening. We're getting more chapters coming soon. Oh, and these are actually the first ever sketches. So not just rough sketches, they're the first ever sketches. April 2015. Oh, that's specific. Wow, that's so damn cool. Thanks for sharing, Toby. I love behind the scenes stuff like this. I find it absolutely fascinating. But yeah, so cool to know. Thank you, Mr. Tobias Fox. I'm looking forward to more news, considering that the launch of the game is only a few weeks away. We can expect to see many more updates, so expect more videos keeping you up to date on all the latest news. I've been your host, the RPG Goddess Gamer. Thank you all so much for watching. If you've enjoyed this video, please consider liking the video, subscribing to the channel, leaving a comment, sharing. Friends, all that good stuff really does help. It means a lot to me. It really makes my day, even just a single comment or a single new sub, because it shows me that people appreciate what I do here on the channel, care and want to see more. Also, the majority of people who watch my videos are not actually subscribed. About 99% of you are not subscribed, so if that's you, please consider turning those notifications on so you never miss a single video. I'm now also on Facebook, Instagram and Twitter, so feel free to follow me on all those platforms for all the latest news. And yeah, you'll never miss out on a single update and show your support. But yeah, I've got more videos planned. I have a video that I've yet to upload of the sort of like an art book for an indie Steam game called oh god, I'm forgetting the name. Anyway, I've got that video planned. I've also got a more short form video for Sea of Stars. Not Sea of Stars, Suikoden and Starleague, my apologies. We got some new information from Suikoden Live that came out recently, and I did do a long form video, but it's probably a bit long for most people, so I'm going to shorten that down to cover the highlights. And notice not many people are covering it, so I want to make sure that I cover it all in one place for those who are interested, because I love the Suikoden series. It's very near and dear to my heart. And I've also got so many shorts planned. I've actually got a whole heap that I haven't uploaded, so I might consider uploading every day to catch up. But yeah, thank you all so much for watching. I love you all, guys. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.